Namaste, friends. Thank you so much for tuning in to Tina Dhyana Yoga. Today's practice is called Slow Your Roll. So it is literally all about slowing down. So slowing down the breath, slowing down the body so that we can really counter this fast-paced modern day culture that we live in. So this practice is going to be great to do if you're already feeling a little low energy. This will really restore and recharge your human battery. So we're going to start lying down. So find a comfy position on your mat. Bring your feet as wide as your mat and then knock your knees in to kiss. And then bring one hand onto your heart, one hand onto your belly. You can take a moment there to even lift your heart up, drag your shoulder heads down, and then replace your shoulder blades on the earth. And give yourself the luxury right here of a few moments to ground, to begin this whole reset. So see if you can release a little bit more with every cycle of breath, breathing in and out through the nose. Invite your attention and your awareness into whatever room you're in, and then into the depths of your body, that inner verse, this whole world inside yourself. Allow your attention to follow each breath in and each breath out. And then see if you can really organically begin to slow down each inhale and slow down each exhale. Even breathing in for 4. Find a little pause at the top. And then breathe out for 4. A little pause at the bottom. And even play for 5. Breathe in for 5. Breathe out for 5, maybe 6. All right, my friends, I'm feeling better already. Don't know about you. Go ahead and lift your knees up to the sky, so right over your ankles. And then come into happy baby. So take a full one to start. Grab the outer edges of your feet. Knees right under your heels. Heavy your tailbone, draw your chin in. Find a nice spinal lengthening here as you rock a bit side to side. You might breathe in through the nose and then take a vibrational tongue out on the exhale. Maybe a flutter. And then keep your right leg in happy baby. Soften your left foot down to the ground, left knee to the sky. Left hand on the top of your left thigh. And then keep pulling really gently down on the outer edge of your right foot to encourage the right knee down towards the earth outside your rib cage. See if you can keep your left shoulder blade and your left shoulder rooted in the earth. And then if you have space in the front of the left thigh, you might even lengthen your left leg, reaching forward through the left heel. And then go ahead and bring your left palm right onto your belly. And then focus on breathing into your hand from the belly. Feel that ebb and flow, that wave of existence. Knowing at the top there's always a descent down, and at the lowest of the lows there's always an ascending up. And then gently bring the right knee into the chest. Wiggle your hips a little bit on over to the right as you bring your right knee over to the left for supine twist. You can let your right arm cactus or your right arm T. Heavy again, that left shoulder blade, left arm, and see if you can look towards your right hand. If that's not cool with your neck though, look straight up towards the ceiling, towards the sky. Breathe into the outer hip. Your next breath out, gently come into center. Sacrum neutral. Full on happy baby again. 3 cycles of breath. Left leg stays in half happy baby, right foot roots down on the ground, right hand to top of right thigh to start. And then notice if that right side of the body is sort of like lifting up, if it's anxious, right? Tell it it's all good. Heavy it down. Chill. See if you can gently draw the left knee down towards the ground using the left arm to help you lovingly. You might lengthen your right leg, but still active through that right leg. Reach through the right heel, then bring your right hand to your belly. Feel your breath. Breathe into your hand. Bottom of a breath out. Left knee moves into center. Scoot your hips a little bit to the left as your left knee moves to the right. Right hand really gently on the side of your left leg there, and then lengthen, expand through that left arm. Getting right on the side of that right hip, so you might even scooch that right leg back even more. And then see if you can just surrender into the moment. even allowing yourself to be breathed right here. And your next breath out, travel back to center real slow. Hug your knees into your chest. And then palms on shins. Make some circles here with the knees, one direction. And then the other direction. And then if you're super tired and you'd rather roll over to one side and then come up to a squat top of the mat, you're welcome to do that. Otherwise, come to neutral, begin to find some gentle rocks and rolls, and then play for a moment with a few little rocks and rolls, little massage for your whole spine. And then rock and roll your way up into a squat, so you might need your hands to help you there. Feet wide, heels in, toes out. Take a moment, tented fingers in front of you. Move your hips a little side to side. So if this is too much with toes turned out, you can always turn your toes straight ahead. You can always roll up a blanket under heels if they're super lifted, or a block or two, or some books, stack of books underneath your seat. We're gonna twist it out a little bit here. So reach your left arm long inside your left leg with your left fingertips tented out beyond your left toes. And then inhale to reach your right arm up and back. And then turn your right thumb down. And then wrap your right arm behind your back, reaching towards the top of your left thigh or left hip crease. See if you can lean back into your right shoulder blade even more, and then drop your left ear down towards your left shoulder. Breathe into the right side of your neck. So the neck, the shoulders, upper back is where we tend to hold our stresses, right? And holding the weight of the world on the shoulders. See if you can just let some stuff go right here. Let some stuff release. You can even imagine it like melting, dripping off of your body. And then reach your right arm up on your next breath in. Bring your right palm down. Switch it out. Your right arm's going to be long. Right tricep grazing your right inner thigh. Tense your right fingertips beyond your right toes. Inhale your left arm up. Lean back. And then left thumb turns down. Left arm behind the back. Reach towards your right hip crease, right thigh. And then heavy. Your right shoulder, or right ear rather, down towards your right shoulder. Breathe deep. So seeing if you can focus on breathing in and out through the nose in this practice today, which will help calm the nerves and activate the parasympathetic nervous system, rest and digest. But at any time, if you need to sigh out your mouth, feel free. If any time you feel like something just needs to get out. Inhale your left arm up. Exhale, circle your left arm back in front of you. Inhale here, exhale, lengthen your legs, turn your toes forward and heavy your head. Take a moment here. You can keep your knees bent. You can sway yourself side to side. Keep your hands on the ground for a little extra rootedness as you swing the torso side to side like a pendulum. Loosen the jaw.
Interlacing the hands behind the back of the head. Just allow the head to get heavy, heavy, heavy with the weight of the hands. And then release the arms to dangle again. Keep your head heavy, feet firmly rooted, belly drawing in and up as you slowly roll up to stand vertebra by vertebra. Take your time. Slow the roll, friends. Eventually you make your way into Tadasana, mountain pose. Stand tall, palms wide, facing forward. Fluttering your eyes open, inhale, circle your arms up. Interlace your hands, release your index fingers, catch a steeple grip. Inhale, reach up, and then over to the right. So nice, gentle side bend. Exhale, back to center. Inhale, reach up and over to the left. Exhale to center. Let's just 2 more times. Inhale, reach up, over to the right. Exhale, center. Inhale, up and over to the left. Exhale, center. 1 more. Inhale, up and over to the right. Exhale, center. Inhale, up and to the left. Center. Inhale. Lift your index fingers up. Reach your heart up. Lengthen your tail down. And then exhale, swan dive. Your arms hinge at the hips and melt into your legs. Inhale to a flat back here. Stretch your spine long and your heart forward. Plant your palms, step back into downward facing dog. Let it be chill. Let your feet be a little bit wider. Grounding dog today. Finger pads rooted. And then inhale to float yourself forward. Plank pose. Exhale, you'll soften your knees, point your toes, bend your elbows straight back as you lower your chest and your chin. And then lengthen your legs long. Cactus your arms right here. And then tense your right fingertips. So your left arm is cactus, your right fingertips are tented, your right elbows sort of reaching up towards the sky here. Chin in. Forehead down, point the toes, really root through the tops of the feet there, lift the thighs, and then inhale to lift your right leg up. A little kick up. And then roll on over to your left hip. I'm having trouble doing it all the way. I'm going to move my mic set, folks. Thankfully, you don't have that problem. Rolling over to your left hip. Swing that right leg back behind you. And then spider hand with your right hand. Bring it in a little bit closer to your chest. Oh, feel that stretch through the left shoulder. Allow your left temple to soften down to the earth. Allow yourself to relax, relax, relax here. Breathe. See if you can unclench the jaw and be with it 1 more cycle of breath. And your breath out, roll back onto your belly. Cactus both of your arms. Forehead to the ground. Tense your left fingertips, left elbow up towards the sky. Point the toes, firm up the thighs, and then lift your left leg up. See if you can really press your left fingertips into the ground to lift your left leg up maybe a little millimeter higher. And then roll on over to your right hip. Allow your right temple to rest down. Spider hand moves in towards the chest. Breathe. Next breath out, roll back onto your belly. Tense your fingers here underneath your shoulders, elbows draw in, firm up the legs. Inhale to lift up into a little tented finger cobra. And then exhale, melt yourself back down. Chin draws in, forehead to the ground. One more inhale, lift up. Exhale, melt yourself down. And then plant your palms. Inhale, lift up into traditional cobra. Exhale, child's pose. Lengthen the arms, sit back towards your heels, and allow yourself to melt. Inhale, come forward, all fours, stacking knees under hips, wrists under shoulders. Tuck your toes, downward facing dog. Right here on the inhale, you're gonna lift your right leg up, and then exhale, just softly step the right foot between the palms, really gentle. Soften your back knee down, point your back toes. Inhale, circle your arms up, and then see if you can catch that steeple grip. Find a little lift through your pelvic floor, a little lift through your lower abdominals. And then feel your feet really reaching into the ground, all four corners of that front foot, back toes. And see if you can lift and lengthen and lean back. One more moment. And then exhale, circle your palms down to frame your front foot. Tuck your back toes, lift your back knee on the inhale. And then exhale, root your back heel down. You're gonna walk your right hand inside your right leg and then move your hands off so that they're at a diagonal towards the top left corner of your mat. So think like downward facing dog arms, but on a diagonal. And then tense your fingertips here. This will help you immensely with what we're about to do. So hug that right outer hip into center a little bit. On your inhale, you're gonna play with lengthening your front leg, spreading the ball, the front foot, lifting the toes. And then on the exhale, re-bending that front knee. So you might even stretch your arms out a little bit further, right? Inhale, lengthen, or bring them in if you need to. Exhale, re-bend. Let's do this a few more times. Just inhaling and exhaling. Allowing the breath to lead and guide the movement. And then next time the knee is bent, come back to center, lift your back heel. Inhale, low lunge. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, bring it to plank. Exhale, drop your knees, child's pose. Settle in. Inhale to all fours. Exhale, tuck the toes. Hips pull up and back, downward facing. Inhale, lift your left leg up. Exhale, step the left foot between the palms. Soften the back knee down, point your back toes, circle your arms up on the breath in, catch that steeple grip. Maybe opposite thumb over this time. And then see if you can find that inner lift of Mula Bandha, right? Pelvic floor. The lift through Uddiyana Bandha, the belly drawing in and up. These locks that help us find lightness and a little bit more kindness in each pose, really. One more cycle of breath. And then exhale. Circle the arms down. Palms frame your front foot, tuck your back toes, lift your back knee as you breathe in. And then exhale, anchor your back heel down. Make sure the back toes are turned in ever so slightly to protect your back knee. Bring your left hand into center.
Might even wiggle left foot a little bit to the left. And then long arms at a diagonal towards the top right corner of your mat. Tenting the fingertips if that served you on the first side. Let your ears fall in line with your arms, just like down dog, and then breathe in. Lengthen that front leg as much as you can. You might want to walk your hands back, right, to get even more length. Spread through the ball of the foot, wake up the toes. And then exhale, re-bend. Keep this going. See if instead of letting your left outer hip splay off to the left side, you can keep drawing it back into your center. Which is essentially, right, what this practice is all about. Drawing ourselves back into our center, coming back home to ourselves. Next time the knees bent, coming on out of it, lift your back heel, fingertips frame your front foot, inhale, low lunge, exhale, downward facing dog. Right here, bringing your feet a little bit wider than your yoga mat, so beyond the yoga mat, back of the mat, and then walk your hands back. So you're in a wide straddle fold. See if you can just heavy yourself. You might be able to bring your forearms to the ground, perhaps if you have a lot of space in the backs of the legs, or you're keeping your arms long, right? And your palms right under your shoulders. And then wherever you're at, see if you can put a bend in your right knee. Shift your weight to the right. Get a nice stretch through that left hamstring. And then switch it on out. Put a bend in your left knee. Nice stretch through that right hamstring. And then switch it one more time to the right, to the left. And then come to center. If it's accessible, we'll grab Yogi Toe Lock. Peace fingers wrap around your big toes. Plug your thumbs into the ground for a little extra anchoring here. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, bend and widen the elbows. Press the big toes into your peace fingers and the peace fingers back into the big toes as you heavy the head. 2 more times. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, hinge and melt. There might be a bend in your knees here. 1 more. Inhale. Exhale. Fold and pause. See if you can shift a little bit more weight forward into the balls of the feet. Energetically, crown of the head reaching down towards the ground. Gently release your grip. Palms underneath your shoulders. Inhale to a little flat back here. And then you might wiggle your hips side to side. That's feeling good to me right now. And then plant your palms. Walk forward, feet in, downward facing dog. One last jam for you all right here. Inhale, come forward, plank. Exhale, drop your knees, point your toes, your chest, and your chin. Hug your elbows into the sides of your ribs. And then lengthen yourself out long here. You're going to come onto your forearms, Sphinx pose. See if you can really plug your elbows down, activate your legs, peel your shoulders back, heart stretches forward. And catch 2 cycles of breath right here, just establishing. Okay, so from here, turn your right forearm in a little bit, about 45 degrees. And then you're gonna roll over onto your right hip. So your feet are stacked. You can tense your left fingertips right at chest level. And then your feet are active, your legs are active. So we're gonna go for a pose called Vishnu's couch right now, which is really gonna look like we're just chilling, but there's actually quite a bit of containing of the energy, right? And pulling things into center that needs to happen in order for us to stabilize in a pose. So make sure, just check in, your right elbow's right underneath your right shoulder. Active legs, so really press the thighs back, reach through the feet. Open up the bottom shoulder. There tends to be some collapsing here. Open it up. And then you're just going to bring the left foot onto your right inner thigh, so it's like tree. Okay? And then this might be enough for you today. This is already a place where balance is challenged a bit. If you want more, if you're curious, peace fingers with your left hand. Wrap it around your left big toe. Take a moment before you go anywhere. Firm up the right leg. Press the left big toe into your peace fingers back into the big toe. Open your bottom shoulder. And then you can play with lengthening the left leg, reaching through the left heel. See if you can look up. Slow down your breath. And then see if you can keep hold of the big toe as gracefully as possible. Reverse your way out. Sole the left foot on your right inner thigh. Left fingertips tent in front of your chest. And then lengthen your left leg. And then roll back onto your hips, Sphinx. Okay, we're going to try that on the other side. I'm going to turn your left forearm in. Roll over onto your left hip, stacking the big toes, stacking the legs. Take a moment to reorganize if you need to, left elbow under left shoulder. And then watch the collapsing through the bottom shoulder. Look towards your right foot there, and then allow the right hip to open up, right foot to land on your left inner thigh. Reestablish here, reopen anything that needs to be open. And then peace fingers with your right hand, wrap around your right big toe. Take a moment, firm up that left thigh, reach to the left heel, press the right big toe into the peace fingers into the big toe, and then gently lengthen the right heel. See if you can even think about dragging the right heel towards the back of your mat so that you're finding a little bit more of a lift. You're stretching yourself in all directions here, but staying really connected to your breath and your center and that stability. And then gently reverse your way out. Right foot, left inner thigh, right fingertips in front of you. Restack the right leg long on top of the left. Roll onto your belly. And then right here, cactus your arms. You're gonna bend and widen the right knee out to the right. You can even create a little pillow here with your left hand to rest your left temple. Looking towards your right arm. You can even soften your gaze, close your eyes, and breathe in this little half restorative frog. And gently re-lengthen your right leg. Cactus both of your arms. Turn to the left. Right temple rests on your right hand. Bend and widen your left knee towards your left elbow. And then soften into it.
Gently re-lengthen your left leg. Forehead to the ground. Pressing yourself up into a little seat on your heels, and then shifting over onto one side. Lengthen your legs long in front of you. I'm gonna face you for this one. Wide straddle here with the legs. So legs in a V, maybe not so wide also, especially if the tendency is once you fold forward for the legs to begin to collapse inward. You might wanna narrow the legs a little bit. But wherever you're at, reach through the heels, point the toes straight up towards the ceiling. You're gonna inhale to reach the arms straight up. And then exhale, begin to hinge at the hips, tent your fingertips onto the ground, walk your spider hands forward, but keep your spine long. And then allow your ears to fall in line with your arms. And keep externally rotating your legs. If it's accessible, you might let your forearms rest on the ground or maybe that stack of books. See if you can peel your shoulders back. Allow your chin to move into your chest. We're going to go for a little grounding pranayama breathing practice right here. So do the best you can with it. You're going to breathe in for 3 counts. Breathe out for 4 counts, all in and out through the nose. Breathe in for 4. Breathe out for 5. Breathe in for 5. Breathe out for 6. Breathe in for 6. Breathe out for 7. Breathe in for 7. Breathe out for 8. Breathe in for 8. Hold the breath in at the top, contain the energy, contain that loving life force energy inside yourself, swirl around, integrate in your whole body. And then open your mouth, exhale. Head heavy, slowly roll yourself up. Crossing at the ankles here, coming into Sukhasana. You're welcome here to take a seat in meditation, to take corpse pose, Shavasana, and I highly encourage it. But I'm signing off for now. And thank you all so much for joining in on this class, slowing things down, and moving back into our center. Thank you so much. Namaste.